What is up, Money Tree Facebook Club members? I'm here with the amazing Paul and Tracy. What's up, guys? Thanks for jumping on live with me.
Hi.
No problem.
This is, I believe this is probably not Tracy's first, but this could possibly be Paul's first Facebook Live.
Yes. Yes.
Great. Just want to know you're doing great, mate. Well done. It's happening. The world's not crashed down yet, but we are live, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys because you've had such wonderful results so far in our 5 Steps to Millions program on so many different accounts. So I think this is why I wanted to sort of interview you guys today. So thanks again. And I'm just going to see if we're live in the group. I'm sure we are. If you guys have any questions as we're going through, feel free to share them. But pull up the live here. Here we go. Awesome. It's just I can't see the comments if they're on the other. So Lynette Hughes is on. What's up, Lynette? And Jaden's on. Great. He was one of the young fellas on the call last week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we're going to get to that. But let's start with you guys. You've only just started in the last couple of months the 5 Steps to Millions program. You're not in too far yet. So let me ask you this: before we started working together, what was life like?
Well, we were working hard and not going forward at a reasonable rate of knots. We were going okay, but not to the degree we wanted.
Okay.
And I'll elaborate a bit further.
Okay.
Paul's a money warrior.
Money warrior.
Very money warrior, not warrior.
That's a new limiting mindset.
You're now a money warrior. So you were a warrior then. Okay,
yeah, that's it.
And so tell us a little bit about that, Trace. What's
He worries about money.
Sure.
Worried about money.
Worried about losing it, taking risks. Old school Paul, sorry I've interrupted. Leave it in the bank.
Okay.
Goes nowhere.
Yeah.
You've taught us that. I mean, that's just a useless strategy, a non-workable strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, long term, not so good, right? So
hopeless. Yeah. Hopeless.
Okay. So so you were wanting to progress your money further and increase your financial IQ, obviously. But I know that it was Tracy probably that was making headway listening to my podcast and so on. So Trace, what really was it that about where you're at, what you wanted to achieve? What was it that compelled you to say to Paul, hey, we need to do this?
I guess I watched a lot of your little, what do you call it, clips, little reels. One night, just on social media, over and over. And I loved just the way you spoke. So short, sharp, to the point. And I was like, I love this. So I just kept watching. And everything you were saying was like resonating with me. And I'm like, right, I'm hooked on this guy. I'm going to find out a little bit more. Yeah. But I bounced out of bed the next morning because I stay up pretty late watching social media things, as you do.
And watching reels?
Yeah. And I said, well, check this out. This guy's really cool. Anyway, because we were sort of poking around as to what we're going to do. And he had a look and he's like, yeah. And then the next thing you know, we're on a discovery call. And I don't know, it just started the ball rolling. And then we have not been able to stop it. There's no turning back. Right?
Yeah.
We're on the slide, I guess.
Yeah. You've done so much. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think you may have bought the book, Money Grows on Trees or Money Buys Happiness. Yeah. You probably had a coaching call with Mel.
Yes.
And she probably, I wasn't on that coaching call with Mel, but she probably helped you with a couple of things or spoke to you about a few things. And then part of that journey was, well, we want to make a decision to, take massive action on it, I suppose it could be called, right? Yeah. Because reading a book or listening to a podcast, that's action, which is really good. But massive action happens when you get to work closely with someone that, probably has what you want or can teach you something new. So you guys made the decision, right? To do the 5 Steps to Millions mentorship. So what was really kind of compelling that decision? What was the thing that was like, we need to do this? What was the thought process?
I don't know. We barely spoke about it. It was just compelling. We had to do it.
Okay.
Because the only other option out there was to basically hand our money and our future over somebody we paid money to do it anyway, taking it out of our hands and hope for the best. And Paul being Paul with his money, and I agree, I didn't want to hand over our money so somebody else could look after it because they don't do a good job.
No,
sure.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. So you wanted to actually still be the custodial and the guide of your own money, be in control.
Destiny. Yep.
Yeah, control your own destiny. But you probably weren't equipped quite with the education required to make those critical decisions. Okay, awesome.
No knowledge on the strategies and the whole approach to, the 5 steps.
Cool. Awesome. Great. So since starting, what's some of the stuff that you've been able to do based on the education you've now had so far and the interaction and so on?
All right, I'll go first. Understanding our own mindset. Okay, that's a big thing, and it's the first thing in the 5 steps.
Yes.
Have a deep inward look at yourself, and where are you positioned? What does your mind think about money? And mine was completely wrong. You've taught us to rewire your mindset, understand where you are now. You've got to get that datum, and move from that datum towards a millionaire mindset. And if you don't do that, you'll never become a millionaire. So think like one, knock around with them, associate.
Wear the same brand shirts.
Yeah.
Dressed like it.
It's like we've cooperated, colluded.
I know, I do. You got the memo. Wear the polo shirt. No.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's genuine. I just thought I better put that on rather than a Speedway t-shirt.
Great.
So look, mindset is really key. If you haven't got your datum set right in your mind, you might as well forget about it. You have to think differently. You have to think outside the square. You have to think like a millionaire to become a millionaire. And one thing that I remember from you, Lloyd, you often say, ask questions, ask. That's the only way you're going to learn.
Yeah.
And I often recall you saying, I'll step to you, but I'm not a mind reader. You got to step to me first, and then I'll do what I can, and I'll step straight to you, meet you halfway.
Yes.
So that's what we've done.
Yes.
So we've embraced the mentorship. I'm not going on too much. We've embraced you as a mentor, and it was difficult for me to be coachable, right? It's just I've changed the mindset. I am open-armed about it. Fresh ideas, embrace it. Roger that, go get it, rather than, what did you call it, the chicken? But chicken.
But chicken. Yeah.
But anyway, so my mindset's changed. It has to, especially when I spend money on a program like this. I won't let it fail.
Yeah, that's right, because you've invested.
That's part of my old mindset in the background. Don't waste money.
Well, that's part of it, because people say, well, Lloyd, why don't you just teach me for free? I'm like, well, I do. It's free. The podcast is free. It's bloody amazing information. But it's not that. It's not about the information, because if it was information all we needed, everyone would be rich because it's all on the internet.
Yeah.
When you've got skin in the game, there's a book by Nassim Taleb called Skin in the Game. It's actually a book. And when you invest in yourself, which is what you've done, there's 2 things that happen. Number 1, when you pay attention. Number 2, when you got skin in the game, you're invested. It compels you to take actions that you needed to take a while ago that you're now going, okay, now I need to take. Because if I don't, there's a consequence.
Yep.
And I think that's what's happened to you guys. So it's awesome. Okay, cool. So you did the mindset, developed that, and you've become very coachable. But I think you were pretty coachable at the start. But I love the change in language you've had even the last week. Because we're chatting away, and you said, Roger that. And I always know that when someone's saying that they've become very coachable. So
right.
But I remember at the start talking about your step to step, that when you messaged me, I was messaging you back, and you were saying, Lloyd, come back to me tomorrow, or because I was replying back.
I know. I couldn't believe it. I think it was on the weekend too. And Tracy said, will you stop doing that?
No, if you ask questions, you get an answer, right? It's but I think people feel guilty to ask, but that's why a mentorship program exists. So you don't have to feel that guilt. You're just like, I need to know this, I need to know that, I need to know that. I need to ask someone. And I'm here for that. So that's what you've done well. I just want to commend you. you engage well, and I think that's why you've had success so far.
Thank you.
So anyway, what happened next? What else have you garnered from this experience?
Well, why don't you have a shot?
He'll let me talk.
And I'll build on what you say.
He'll cut it in a second. Just start talking, Tracy.
Yeah, I know. We figured that out about our personalities. I've never noticed that. I think we've been together nearly 30 years. I've never noticed his personality like that. It's funny.
Thank you.
Yeah, look, this was a hard step in. The whole thing was a big leap.
Yeah.
But Paul followed me. I'm always open to new ideas and trying new things. So I sort of pushed him into the ring and off we went.
Mm-hmm.
But it hasn't been a smooth ride. Maybe I haven't told you about this. There's been a lot of turmoil. There's been a lot of rocky roads. There's been a lot of discussions, toings and froings, and we don't always agree. He holds his money, I spend everything.
Yeah.
So
Water and spender, right?
It's hard.
Yeah, you're right. Diametrically opposites.
Sure.
Huh?
Yep. So it's been a rough ride, but it's also been amazing that we can bring you, Lloyd, into the mix, and you can say things to him that I wouldn't say in a million years.
And if she did, I'd ignore them.
No, he'd throw the nearest thing at me and I'd have to duck.
Not true.
That is true. And vice versa. If he told me to go and get a job, there'd be profanities everywhere. But you tell me to get a job and the next day I'm out looking for work. It's funny, the dynamics, how it works.
Yeah. Yes. There you go. Interesting. It's not that I'm mediating, but I'm third party validating. So I think that's that mindset in itself too is more of an old school mindset as well. You're not going to go work here to it. So it's the generation. And that's a not a limiting belief, but it's a block. And it's only because when the ego falls away and the masks come off and the gloves come off with, we want to make some massive changes here because of all these amazing reasons, then you become open. And then everything's on the table, particularly if you're learning from someone who you feel like, well, that's what I want, or that's what they've been able to do. So it's been great. I know it's rocky, but if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if it felt smooth and easy, probably not the right path. So it's good. I'm glad to hear that. And that's good for everyone to see. So it's not smooth, right? Because change is something that's a bit challenging for most of us. So that's wonderful. So what else, Chase? What else has happened for you then, coming in, engaging in this program that's changed?
Talk about your list.
Oh, many things. I guess one of the main things that's happened is a lot of the stress in our lives has changed. So Paul is a very big warrior, whereas I'm carefree. I'll skip down the street happily. Okay. But we're different people. But it's taken a lot of the stress out of Paul, and he's faced a lot of things that he wouldn't necessarily want to look at. Such as we were talking the other day, Paul's probably got 20 years of accumulated stuff in and around the place, that really we don't need. And then you add that to some other things in the family, and you've got 60 years of accumulated stuff laying around.
I love how you say that so aggressively, stuff.
And it blocks the mind and it blocks the way you think. So it's rattled our cages to clean it up. Yes. And it's a sense of urgency. It's not in 6 months, not next month, now, today. What are we doing today? And we have lists, and, we both go at everything as hard as we can. It's kind of crazy. It's like an urgency, isn't it? And I don't know why it is, but we're just, let's do it. Let's finish it. So
like very good. My office is cluttered. It really is, and so is my garage. So I've got to start a program. It'll probably be next week. I brought the trailer home from the bush. My mum's property. Dear old mum passed away about 6 months ago. And that's what Tracy's saying. We've got 60 years of accumulation, because when mum and dad passed, guess what I did? Went and bought 2 containers and put them up on the block and filled them with all their stuff. Now we've got to get rid of it. So I created a problem.
Yeah.
I created a problem. It's all in there. There's washing machines, there's dryers, there's polishers. It's going. It's got to go.
Yeah.
It's going to take a bit of work though.
Yeah. It probably takes more work to carry that burden than it does to do the work.
Yeah.
In the back of your mind.
So there's that. You know, the other example was this little Vitara. You know, how many cars have we got and registered for belting around the bush? I bought it for $1,000. One of them, 3 of them actually. Why?
Yeah. But
so I got $2,800 for it. So that's cool.
Don't you? So in summary, with those things though, haven't you found from doing our call only a couple of weeks ago? One of the calls was that the challenge was what is it around you that you can sell or move on and monetize.
100%.
And I think you guys discovered thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that you had sitting there. You've now monetized.
Yeah. And still more to go, like truckloads more to go.
Yeah.
There's that much dead wood stuff laying around that's just not used.
Would you have done that if you hadn't started this program?
No way.
Okay.
It'd be arguing about it for the next 20 years.
So that's all part of rewiring the mindset, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's sort of like, hey, if you haven't used this in 12 months, move it on.
That's right.
Or sell it.
Yeah. It's interesting because people come in wanting to learn about money, which is all numbers based and it's very logical, rational. It's pretty simple stuff, money. It's just we get in the way. It's us. And that's why it's mainly behavioral. In fact, 80% is behavioral. And this is a wonderful example of the behavioral components getting in the way of the millionairehood.
Yeah.
But you're moving the obstacles away because you're coachable. And you're having someone hold you a little bit accountable, and you're in a good environment, and you're encouraged by others and the inspirational stories and other people's ideas. And this is what people don't get. Right. So anyway, that's wonderful. What else? There's something else you've done.
Oh, well, we've
done many things.
We've got our investment strategy going.
Yeah.
In a pretty substantial way.
Yeah.
You know, the first few goals have been kicked.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've bought the assets, a considerable amount.
Yeah.
It's 6 figures.
Yeah.
Low 6 figures, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's all set up and running on autopilot so that it makes money while we sleep, to use your expression.
Sure. What I want to ask you about,
cool.
What I want to ask you about that, Paul, is that I just want to ask you more on the education side of it. So, like, you've executed, which is, I'm all about execution. Like, I'm like, let's not read books, let's get into it and get after it and make it happen, right? And you've done that so well. But there was one component, I remember at the beginning, where you were educating yourself around ETFs and you were learning what they are because you were building confidence in whatever strategy you were going to execute on.
Yep, true story. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you feel like that was a bit of a game changer for you, just those bits of information you learned?
Oh, 100%, because I feel very, very uncomfortable in unfamiliar circumstances and unfamiliar terminologies and things like that. That's why I ask you a lot of questions. You probably go, bloody hell, Paul.
That's like, no. That's part of the process.
But I've got to know what I'm doing, and I've got to really try and understand it pretty well to make me feel happy inside.
And confident.
And that's what I said, you know, what are these ETFs? You know, what's all this about? And, you know, obviously the books explain it, and you explain it in real time through the resources, you know, the WhatsApp.
The WhatsApp. That's why I signed him up to the WhatsApp with you.
Yeah.
I knew every single question he would message you, and I didn't want to be involved in it. So
I love it. I'm all for it. Yeah.
Right at the moment, I'm having trouble coming up with a burning question each week.
That's okay. They'll come.
That means you've done your job.
They'll come. You've done a wonderful job.
We take your hats off to you, because I admire someone that knows their stuff, and that's just not play acting, you know, not regurgitating. You know your stuff like really well, and I admire that, and that's why I like you as a mentor, because you know your gear, you know your stuff.
Yeah. Thank you. It makes me feel very fulfilled. That
you actually don't know how you get it all done. I counted the resources before, you know, in the workbook. you've identified all the resources within the first few pages there. There's 14 resources, and they're not little resources. I mean, the first one is the 5 steps. That is a massive resource in its own entity. What are we up to now? 63 videos, I think it is.
I think so. I've got more to come, but I'm just trying. What I've done is people are starting to catch me, but yeah, it'll be completed out. But the reason they're there is because people often mistake things for courses, but I think it's a good idea to explain to people this is not a course. There's course content that you get access to that you can learn from in your own time, which I want. But this is interactive too. This is like, hey, questions in real time for instant chat, plus live calls and Q&A that can go on for as long as they need to satisfy the question. So, and friendships and masterclasses we do and jokes to be made and all that stuff, So anyway, I digress, but thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying all the resources. There's
a lot there. I mean, I'm only just scraping the surface. Yeah, on the 5 steps, there's just truckloads more after that.
Yeah, so you'll get your head around.
I've actually started the mastery one, investing mastery, I think it's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I've had to pull up on it just at the moment because there's other things going on.
Yeah. One step at a time. You can get engrossed in some of that content, but the 5 steps is enough in there for the 12 months. Like, this is the 5 Steps to Millions program, but I do give everyone else access to my other courses as well as part of that program. But you have it there. You've got it in your Kajabi full time. You can always come to it. But I like the live stuff too, because we've done some cool calls together where we've looked at different things live, and I think it does make a difference because you can learn in real time. So anyway, listen, I wanted to ask you, last week we did the free masterclass. The recording I've posted it in the Facebook group here for people to access. But your little man Tyler was on last week.
Friday.
Thursday
evening. Yeah. And for anyone who's not seen that masterclass, go watch it because you'll see that Paul and Tracy got the big bingo sign holding up, which I love, which also Alicia loved. And we were driving to Pacific Fair to have dinner after that masterclass, and she said, "This is so nice for Paul and Tracy to make that sign up and do that."
That was him.
I said they invited us to their house for dinner in Melbourne. So next time we go, we've got to go hello. But anyway,
but there was a functional requirement too, because there was 3 of us. Tyler was here, Tracy was there. I was in the back stalls and I couldn't type bingo, so I'll do my own bingo.
Right.
And then I ran to Tyler and he started holding it up.
I loved it. And hey, listen, I thought it was great how you brought Tyler on because it was open to children because, child friendly, there's no swearing. We're just talking basic stuff that they need to learn. But what happened when he came on? So just tell me what that experience was like and what's happened since then.
Well, I guess for Tyler, because he's around us, he's in really one of 4, but he's the younger one at home. He hears us talking. He sees what we're doing, kind of puts all the pieces together. He's quite clever. Yeah. So for him to be able to come to a masterclass and, engage and put his own mind into situations is quite incredible. I have no doubt that he'll be a millionaire, who knows when, very soon. He's quite ambitious.
Yeah.
But he did his own little vision board here.
Show us there you go.
So
look at that. He's a flipping good drawer, isn't he? Look at that car.
Hang on.
Is that yours or
his? I thought he might have cut it out and coloured it, but he has drawn.
Amazing.
It's a mustache.
So tell me, what was going through his mind when he was doing the vision? He understood that concept, right?
He did. He had a bit of a look at ours, and hence the money tree. Where's that?
Great.
If you look at it, he's got the money. He's replanting seeds over here. I'm not used to this.
I see. Yeah, smart. Look at that. Wow.
So he's planting more trees. We didn't tell him to do that. He's listened to what you've said, and so you got this inflow of money to buy more seeds and plant more trees, and not dig the tree out of the ground.
That's right. These parables that he's learning are so young. I think they're going to stay with him. Because how old is he?
He's only 10, and it made me nervous. I thought, Lloyd's going to think we're a pack of peanuts inviting a 10-year-old.
No,
you and I talked about it. You can never be too young to set yourself up for a wealthy and healthy future.
That's right.
And then you retorted and said, and don't forget, you can never be too old.
That's right.
There's no age limit to this. You just better if you do it early.
Sure. But we all know not all of us get that opportunity. Yeah.
The funny thing about Tyler is he did this vision board in a very modest way. So he'd drawn his house and his tree and car, basic. And I said, do you know you can dream big here? Just what you sit on the floor and you play box or what you do in your games. He loves cats. He'd love a cat rescue or cat cafe or something. I said, put that all on there because it's just your dream.
There he is.
There he is. The man of the moment.
And I said, just dream big because it's not about how we get to that. It's about just having the dream to start with. So his dreams and thoughts got a little bit more elaborate. You can see the little, gee, it is hard to do this.
Yeah, it's all upside down. I've never done this before.
The Cat's Cafe.
This is a cat cafe.
Yes.
Where people that can't afford pets or don't want pets at home can come and pet the cats. Okay. And then the money flows into his house.
Okay.
There.
He's got a business really there.
Yeah, it's a business.
Great.
It's a business. Vehicle. Sorry about the glare.
Yeah. So he's doing the 5 steps. He's getting the vehicle. He's changed his mindset. He's planting his money tree. He's got the train there.
Yeah, that's the garn. It's been hard to read, but he wants to go on the garn.
I'm sure he will. So he just shone up the call. He got $50 worth of money tree seed.
Yes.
So
we're so excited about that.
That was very generous of you. I mean, you didn't single anyone out. You just bugger it. Let's give it to everyone.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that Jaden was on. I'm like, oh, there's another one. Kids, but the reason why that's important, I think, is because, and tell me if this is true or not, it creates a money conversation at home.
Yeah, it's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
It's a building block for the future too.
Building block for the future. So he has that now and he can set up, and some sort of little micro investing app with you, or at least think about it, understand savings. And it begins that process. And he's probably asked you since then, hey, Mum or Dad, what can I do to make more money around the house? Has he asked you that?
Not really, because he already gets money. He's smart. He's outsmarted. Obviously, like many parents, there's a little bit of savings to the side. And I said to him, I'm going to invest it. I, as you know, was doing quite a bit of trading. I said, I'm going to put you into something, but now I know where to put it and how to put it. And I do it with 100% confidence.
There you go.
And so away we go with that.
Bingo. That's really good. I'm glad you said that because that is the trick. Like you can talk about when you can do things with 100% confidence with your money, it's not just even about what you do with yours, but who you can pass that knowledge on to, and he's going to get it. Yeah. I don't know what that's worth to him. How would you put a value on that? It could be worth flipping 10 million, with compound interest. So I'll commend you for getting him on that call, and you're just seeing the results of showing up like that, and I think it's awesome. So thanks so much, guys, for being on. I've got one more question for you, if I can. It's been quite entertaining for me too, and it's very engaging. But what would be your advice to people? Because we have 2,200 in our Money Grows on Trees Facebook community. There's about 8,000 in our community newsletter, and we have a fair few starting this program. It's growing and growing. But what would be your advice to someone who perhaps watches these and is very apprehensive or maybe even skeptical and nervous about taking massive action? What would you say to them?
Go on.
You're the conservative one. I just jump. No, I just think if you're umming and ahhing about it, time's just passing. Just jump and do, because the gains are far more than just making $1 million. It's more about, it actually overhauls everything in your life, makes you take a really good look at what you're doing. Where am I going? What do I want? And go for it. So,
very nice.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot to convince me, but I'm convinced. So I'm a tough customer. I'll sit down and I'll analyse things till the cows come home, which is a bit silly. But the program it's not complicated. It's not complex, but it's extremely detailed and covers all facets, and I would recommend it to anyone. Don't even sit there mulling it over like I did. Just go and do it.
Did you mull it over?
Yeah.
He just did what he was told.
Actually, the call with Melissa, I just made the decision there, and then we hadn't even talked about it. I said, yeah, let's just do it.
Okay.
Gotta do it. Let's sign up.
Yeah.
This looks good.
Yeah.
And now I know it's good because I've read a lot of the literature and watched a lot of the videos. Still got a long way to go. We're only. You're right. You must have done
just
some
started.
research.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 8 weeks in.
Yeah.
Just shy of 8 weeks, 7.5.
It's amazing what you've achieved in 8 weeks. Can you think about that? Like, the changes in 8 weeks.
It's easy to do if you've got time. I mean, some of the stuff we're time poor on, but if you've got a bit of time, it's brilliant just to sit there and watch a video.
Yeah.
And I make notes at the same time. That's just me. I'm an engineer, and everything's got to be detailed and worked out. So these are all. There they are. There's all my notes from the 5 steps.
All right.
Yeah. There's the notes from the kid-friendly one. That was a good refresher.
Yeah, probably a good summary.
Yeah, because you hit the high points, and I thought, I've forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
No, look, you go.
It was the reason for that too is because a lot of the guys in the program were on, and that it was very helpful for them too to get a refresher. But it's for those to see what it encompasses, because money is just there's so much to it in terms of what it can cover. It's not complex, like you said, but it's multifaceted. But I feel like you guys have hit pretty well all those facets. It's coming along. Like some of the direction changes, even the way you're showing up now, even like if I'm talking to Tracy, she's like on a Facebook Live here, she's not shying away from it. She's just open. I think those are the nuances that you capture through the program that you probably don't even think you're going to get. That's why
I as you know, I'm a full-time student, and I had to present yesterday. Major project in front of a room full of people.
Yeah.
And the lecturer said I did it better than a lot of people out in the industry working. And I think it's because you keep pushing those little buttons of mine. I think the first live I couldn't even speak. I was like,
Just for everyone's benefit, the course is interior design. So Tracy's becoming an interior designer. And she had a big presentation yesterday. It went very well. And they did more presentations today.
Great.
And
no, but I got asked to sit in to
got held up.
Give some advice. So.
Okay. Great. But I love that it's impacting you in all areas, like you said, Tracy. I think that's wonderful. Wonderful way to end on it and say, look, there's many things you'll get from it, not just physically seeing the money grow, obviously. But I just want to say thanks so much. You guys are so fun to work with. Super coachable, getting great results. You're a wonderful part of the community. And this is inspiring people. And you're obviously inspiring Tyler in a massive way, which I love to see.
I was amazed by his reaction. Yeah, incredible.
What's that?
I was amazed at his reaction. There was no real steerage from us. We had a little chat afterwards, but it sunk in. So you got the ability to project through to adults as well as down to 10-year-olds, and they get it.
That's cool.
I'll tell you something funny. Hopefully you can't hear me. A couple of days ago, he was, how kids sit on their games and they talk to their mates when they're playing their games. And he was on one of his games chatting, and he was explaining to his friends about buying, EFTs and get some seeds and stop spending money on these games.
We've turned him into an evangelist. He's
telling his friends, and I text one of the mums and I said, he's going to come out and your friends, your son's going to come out and start asking, what is this stock and what is seeds and I said, just tell him to save some money and I'll help him. He's saving the world. He is.
It's a great conversation to have while playing computer games. There you go. I mean, I love it. I don't know what's going to happen with, look, he's just off to a wonderful start, but that's because you guys took action and they model you and they're influenced by you and you're his mentor. And I just think it's a wonderful thing to share with people. So thanks for jumping on this live and thank you for your time. And I'm really glad that we could do this because I think it's highly valuable for everyone to listen. So, hey, you're only 8 weeks in. We've got another 10 months to go. So I don't know what you're going to achieve in 10 months, but it's going to be a lot. And I want to do this again at the end. And I don't know what we're going to unpack, but it's going to be awesome. So see you tomorrow on the call. And thanks again. Stick around because I'm just going to end the broadcast. But thanks so much for everyone who tuned in live.
All right.
Bye.